Hey, it's good to see you again. I want to thank you for welcoming me into your home, and well, I hope you're ready for another fun painting. We got a dry canvas today. It's painted black, so all the colors are going to really show up so well against a black canvas like this. Well, you know what we got to do first? We got to paint the sky. So let's go ahead and get out the 2-inch brush. Now this brush here is made with natural hairs, and well, I like using the natural hairs just because they look a little better. The natural hairs don't tend to separate as much when you paint with them as opposed to a synthetic brush. You don't notice it as much with smaller brushes, but the big brush, ooh, you tend to notice that separation a little more. Alright, so what I'm doing right here is I'm going straight into the ultramarine, and then I'm just going to pull a little bit of the white out. White. Okay? Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take just the tiniest bit of the phthalo green. While I'm doing this, all the names of the colors are going to be going across the screen for you, so you know exactly what I'm using, just in case you want to follow along and try it for yourself, or maybe you just want to kick back, relax, grab yourself a cool drink, or a hot drink. Hot drink too. I mean, we like both kinds, don't we? Yeah, coffee's great. Maybe you want a little tea, a little cocoa, however you want to go, okay? Now that I've got a little bit of that phthalo green in there, I'm just going to go in here. I want a little bit more. Ooh. We're going to get lots of phthalo green in this color today. Lots of phthalo green, okay? Now we're just going to start right at the top, okay? And I'm going to do crisscross strokes like this. Crisscross strokes. Crisscross strokes, right? That's all there is to it. And I'm going to go about, I'm going to go down a little further than I think I need to. It's always a good rule of thumb. Always a good rule of thumb is to take things further than you think you need to, alright? Now you may be inclined and say to yourself, well, maybe I don't need to go that far. Always go a little bit further than you think you need to in painting these things, okay? And remember, crisscross strokes, that's the way we cover a canvas like this. Now that's about far enough, I think. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go down here and right about, here. I'm going to pick out some water. There. I'm going to pick out little bits of water in there. I'm just going to swipe the brush side to side. That's all you got to do. And then you got a little bit of water to play with. And you can play with that even more a little bit later. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the ultramarine blue and some of the phthalo. And again, I want this to have a reasonable amount of phthalo in there. A lot of phthalo, actually. Okay. I'm going to pull just a tad more of the ultramarine. And okay, we got enough. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the corners with this color, this thick color that we got here. And I'm going to brush it down, because if you ever look at the sky, you'll notice that's a little darker at the top than it is at the bottom. Okay? It's one of those fascinating things about the sky. So make it a little bit more chromatic at the top and at the bottom. And again, crisscross strokes, crisscross strokes. That's really all there is to it. Now, we'll set that brush aside because we don't really need it all that much right now. And then we'll go and make some clouds here. You know what I want to do? I'm feeling bold today. I think I'm going to take some of the vermilion. Just going to take a little bit of the vermilion, okay? And you see how little I've gotten right there? Just enough. Ooh, I accidentally brushed it against my thumb right there. Sometimes it happens. I'm going to brush that vermilion right through, okay? I'm going to take just a tiny bit more. We want just enough to tint the color. Just to give it a little bit of a little zest, okay? But we also need enough of it to paint the entire painting, don't we? Yeah, we sure do. Okay, well, let's go into the sky now. Let's just pick out a whole bunch of areas, because the clouds are going to be kind of floating sideways, like. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to just make things kind of float over that way like that, and go back and get some more of that same color. And we'll make the clouds go like this too. Yeah, a little bit more of that. Who knows? And then maybe down here. Okay, we got some more right there. And I don't know. We'll go down maybe right here. Get some more clouds like this. There, that's nice. Okay. Now twist your brush every which way when you're doing this. Just let it be free, okay? And then we'll go right here, and maybe this cloud is kind of sneaking down over in this area right here. Ooh, ooh. Now that was bold and daring, wasn't it? Yes, it was. It sure was. Okay. I think we got enough clouds going on right there. So let's take our other 2-inch. That 1-inch was made with natural hairs too, by the way, just in case you're wondering. Now what we're going to do is we're going to give this a floof. We're going to swoop the brush in a circular motion like this. Curve like this. And the reason we do that is because if we brush it straight up and down, it's going to make it look like it's raining. And it's not raining today. It might rain later. Who knows? Who knows? But not right now. No. Okay. So just go ahead and give it a floof. Everywhere you see the top of a cloud, just give it that little circular motion like that. And if it helps you, go ahead and make noises. You know, we're expected to be a little eccentric, aren't we? That's the thing about artists. Artists are expected to be a little crazy. So, you know, go ahead and just do whatever you have to make these things look nice. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just taking the top hairs on the edge of the brush, and I'm just giving a little mist at the bottom here. Mist them out a little bit. That's all there is to it. If we mist them out a little bit, they'll look like they're kind of swirling. You ever notice when you're looking up at the sky how the clouds kind of just dissipate? They kind of just fade away at the bottom, right? Yeah, that's what's going on here. They kind of just fade away. All right, now look at that. Got ourselves a nice little setup, don't we? Yeah, we do. Okay. Well, here's what I want to do. I'm going to get a little bit of the ultramarine and the alizarin crimson, and I'm going to get a fair amount of alizarin crimson in there. I'm going to actually get a lot of alizarin crimson. Then I'll get a little of the phthalo green, and just like that. I'll go in there. Now, where is the horizon line, we think? Well, horizon line is probably going to be right about here. Yeah, right about there. Okay. So we'll cut through and we'll just lay down a couple of things down in here. Imagine, well, we don't have to imagine too much. We'll just picture the Lincoln Memorial. Or not the Lincoln Memorial. I'm thinking, I got all my memorials twisted. We're doing the Washington Memorial today. This one's going to be very nice, I think. Oh, it's going to be a nice one. Okay. Isn't that? We got a nice dark color down in there. Okay. We don't have to do too much with that right now, so let's go ahead and get the other knife. Hopefully you got a couple of knives going. If you don't, just clean off the one you got and, you know, make do. There's no shame in it. Okay. And what we'll do with that is we'll just add a little bit of the white in there. And we'll give this a little bit of something. We'll just take the white that we were using over off to the side. The one that we were using for the clouds and stuff. Okay. Now here's what we can do. I can take the edge of that and maybe we've got like a little top on this thing right here. And we got a whole bunch of stuff going off in the distance. Yeah, something like that. Because you know how there's a bunch of posts and a bunch of all these other little things off in the distance when you see all these monuments in DC. They got a lot of Greek-inspired architecture and all that. Or if it's a Roman, I don't know. I don't pay attention to stuff like that, so I ain't for sure. But, you know, they got all that kind of stuff, so it's neat. Here's what we can do. We can go ahead and take a little bit more. So maybe we got a little something over this way. You know, maybe there's a little post over here, or some flags are being raised and all that. Maybe we got some things over here too. Yeah, that's good. Okay, now we could just take some of that color and throw it on here. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, that's fun. All right. Yeah, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my little round brush, and I'm just going to go through a little bit of my vermilion. I'm going to mix it with some white just to give it a little bit of body. Just a little bit of body, okay? And if we have to, we can go down into the odorless turpentine and get a little bit of that odorless turpentine in the paint. So that way when we come over here to brush it on, it goes nice and easy, alright? There. Okay. Just little flags and things that are showing over there. And maybe we can go over here and maybe we'll do a little bit more over on this side. Maybe we got some Capitol buildings that are kind of just continue over this way, you know? And continue over this way. It doesn't matter how far they continue, because we can always go in and, you know, cut them off a little bit. It's all good. It's all good. And we'll go through and we'll just create some more variation that way. Perfect. Okay. There. That's all there is to that. Now let's go ahead and take our paper towels and wipe off the knife, because we're going to need it for a second here, and we want to clean off that paint. When you clean off your knife, be sure you get your edges. Don't forget those edges. They don't have to be perfect, especially when you're just painting something like this. When you're in the midst of painting, you can go ahead and, you know, take some shortcuts. Now what we're going to do here, is we're going to scratch out the Washington Monument, and we're going to go straight down, straight down. Shh. There it goes. There it goes. We'll just bring that extra paint over there. Okay. Now right at the top, right about here, imagine that there's a little bit of something right there. That little spire at the top. Now we want to try to get this a little straight. A little straight. A little straight, I say. It's easier said than done, you know. Okay. Let me take this little brush here and wipe off. We'll clean off the paint on this. Okay. Now in my bucket I have odorless turpentine. We don't use real turpentine because it's too smelly, it's too sticky. It's just a big old mess. What I do is I rinse my brush in the turpentine, wipe out our grating at the bottom. I bang it on the edge of the bucket. I wipe off the edges on the bucket. Then I go over here and bang it on the easel. And you gotta do that one just to show that brush who's boss. Call that one a little hummingbird because the brush is so small. Barely makes a noise. And finally we just wipe off any excess on the paper towels and the brush is ready to use again. It's that easy. That easy. Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to go right into that paint that we just used on the rest of this, okay? And we're going to, bold and daring moment right here. We're going to start right about here, okay? And I'm going to bring this brush up, decreasing pressure as I rise, okay? And we want to get this pretty straight because you know how the Washington Monument is very straight like this. Oh, it's so straight. It is so straight. It's very tall too. It's actually quite a sight when you first behold it. Okay. This is one of those rare compositions where we're going to have the subject going right up the center. Okay. Look at this. Look at this. Okay. Alright, that's about good enough. That's about good enough for that. Now, let's go ahead and take our little knife, I think. Well, we'll take the big old knife. Let's take the big old knife. And we'll go ahead and we'll mix up a little bit of the alizarin crimson over. Maybe we'll go over here into the vermilion with that. And we'll create kind of a new color that we haven't really used very much. Yeah, that sounds like it might be fun. Okay. Add a little bit of white on that. Yeah, that's not too bad. Maybe we'll add just a touch more of the for a minute. Oop, we got a hair in the paint. Ooh, that's one for the bingo card. I don't know how long you've been with the show, but we got a little bit of a game going where we have a mental bingo card where there's a list of things that happen every episode. Like I get paint on myself, my hand, and I get a hair in the paint, and we call those the trials and tribulations of painting. Okay. All right, this is good. Let's go ahead and just cut through. And then we'll go ahead and we'll throw this on right here. Okay. That's fun. That's a fun color right there. Yeah. Be sure you get all the way to the bottom with it. Okay. Now, since we're looking at it head on, we're not really going to see too much in the way of, shadows on the other side and all that. Okay. There it goes. Ooh, that is nice. Let me just look at it from this angle here. Make sure we got it all. There. Okay, that's nice. Now let's take, let's say a little bit of the white right there, and we'll add that, and then we'll just take the little side of the knife, because you got two sides of your knife here. You got a big side and you got a little side. I like to use both of them, especially when we got little passages that need a little something. Okay, so let's go right here and add a little bit of white to that, just right there. And maybe we'll go right here too. Okay. And right at the top maybe. Okay. That's good. That's nice. Alright, we'll just slop that on right there. I'll set the palette down for 1 second. And while we wipe off the knife, we'll make some decisions about where to go next. Well, I already know where I need to go. We're going to create some grassy areas in front. Okay? And that should be a lot of fun, I think. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get out old fill. That's what I call my filtered brush. I like to call him a fill. Okay. Old fill here. He doesn't have to do too much work because we already got a lot of the color that we need. But I'll tell you what we can do. We can go ahead and create a little bit of a violet color for him. Okay. Got a little bit of a drip starting there on the phthalo green. That's what we call a mutiny on the palette. Anytime there's a drip like that, that's what it is. They're rebelling against me. I keep telling you, your colors got other ideas. All the tools you got, they got other ideas about how this painting is going to go. So you got to get in there and you got to show them what's what. Okay? I'm telling you. Okay, let's go over here. And let's... There. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and punch this lawn in just like this. Because there's a big old lawn surrounding this monument, right? Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. Okay. There's also a reflection pool. Now, the lawn is going to go over about this way, okay? So we're going to go ahead and punch in a bunch of stuff over this way. We'll say, yeah, that's about right. That's about right. Okay, so this is going to go right about, yeah, right about there. Okay. Okay, that's good. And when you're punching things in like this, it doesn't have to be too perfect. It doesn't have to be too perfect. Just imagine that we've got ourselves a lawn here now, and that's about all we need to know. It's all good. There it goes. Oh, that's looking so nice, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Well, I got another filbert here that I'm going to use. And I'm going to use, you know what? think I'm going to take a little bit of the phthalo green. I'm going to take a little bit of the blue right here. Mix those together, and then I'll get some of the yellow in here and pull that out. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cake it on. I'm not going to tap the brush. You tap the brush when you want to get the paint a little bit more evenly distributed. So I can do that, and it might work. I want lots of yellow on here. Lots of yellow and a little bit of that green color, okay? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just get a tiny amount of that odorless turpentine. I might pull out a little bit more yellow too. I might pull out a little bit more, okay? There it goes. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start right at the monument, okay? Okay? And there's just going to be a whole bunch of foliage surrounding everything. Now, if you accidentally get some more bushes in there than you originally intended, don't be too distraught. It happens. But you also want to go ahead and throw in a little bit more color. Okay, there it goes. There. Now look at this. Look at this. There. Let the dark color show through. Don't get rid of all of it, okay? You don't want to get rid of all of it. When you run out of color, go fetch some more fresh stuff over here, and then continue doing this. All right, that's what you got to do. There. Just imagine this is all grass and plants, and looks like we need a little bit more color. Need a little bit more. Well, you know what? Go ahead and get a little bit more if you need it, and then we can continue highlighting. There. That's really all there is to it. There. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, it sure is. Now, here's what we can do. I'm going to take some more of that dark color that we got earlier. I'm going to take the alizarin crimson ultramarine. Now, this dark mix is so wonderful. You can do so many wonderful things. Like you can mix violet, you can mix black, you can mix turquoise. The sky's the limit practically. Okay, I've got this wonderful dark violet color that I like using for foliage. It's nice to kind of just come over here and sit and eat lunch over at the memorial and stuff. I don't know if you've ever been. I don't know if you've ever been to the Washington Monument. It's nice to come over here and just kind of, think about all the history that's come before you. Think about all the things that are going to happen still. Think about all the lives that are going to be touched in the future by all the people that we elect. And then you think about all those people who probably have ancestors related to all these trees because they're so crooked. Yep, that's Washington for you. You start thinking about the history and then you remember, oh boy, we're really being taken for a ride, aren't we? Yep. That's how I feel sometimes. Oh well. If they were good before they got into the old politics over there in D.C., well, they ain't gonna be good once they get back. Okay. Let's go ahead and just pop in these trees here. Make them a little bigger as they come toward you like this. Okay. Yeah, that's fun. That's nice. All right. Here, we'll bring them right over here too. Why not? Just imagine there's a whole bunch of trees and stuff like just kind of coming toward us like this. Okay. Yeah, just imagine that. Now what we can do is we can take color that's a little brighter. We'll take some of the phthalo green like this. Okay. And I'll go over here and get some of that, and oh boy. Oh boy. That's going to be a bright color, huh? Yeah, it is. Well, this is going to be some color, I think. Okay. Well, this is happening. And if you need to, go ahead and get yourself a little bit more of that odorless turpentine, okay? Here. I'm going to wipe some of this paint back on the palette there. There it goes. Okay. Now what we gotta do here is kind of just pick out some spots that we want to highlight. Alright? And let the bristles bend up like that. Okay? And remember, the light is kind of coming from, it's kind of coming from back here, from toward us. So this isn't backlit. No, 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 no. No, the light is kind of coming toward us, I think. That's the way I've got it pictured in my head right here. Okay. So we're gonna, well, maybe the light is coming toward. No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Remember to leave that dark color showing, okay? Okay. And leave a little bit of darkness at the bottom showing too, just so we have a little bit of separation between the ground and the trees. There it goes. Man, these trees are dense. You could get lost in these. Anyone's going over to DC, they might want to watch themselves. Get lost in this forest for days. Here. There we go. Now, remember, bristles bend up, okay? There's all it takes. Okay. That's all it takes. Yeah, what you might want to do, you might want to go ahead and just throw a little bit of this color down in here. Here, let me throw a little bit back on the palette there. Here, we'll take some of this. We'll just do this. Okay. And we'll wipe it in over here. There we go. We've already got some nice reflections going, don't we? Yeah, we do. That was actually pretty easy, wasn't it? Yeah, that was pretty easy. I like that. Now, here's what I want to do, I think. Ooh. I'm going to get my big old round on this one. Yeah, I'm going to get my big old round. Now, this color right here is just going to be a little bit of the Washington Monument kind of just reflected in the water, and then we'll. And what you do when you do this, you just give it a little bit of a wave back and forth. Okay? And you go slowly toward. And as the water comes toward us, the color gets more and more intense. But you want to maintain that wiggle, because you know how water is, it gets disturbed. And you don't see all the figure that's being reflected down in it. It's interesting like that. It's really interesting. Okay, let's clean off this brush. Little hummingbird. Showed it who's boss, but man, barely made a sound. What a trooper. Okay, here, I'm going to go into the white right here. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to go right across. And oops. Here. Okay. We'll just keep taking white. And we'll throw it down into... throw it down into some of these right here, and then... I don't know. Let me rinse that off because we got a little bit too much green on it. I want to minimize the amount of green that we're going to get on this bad boy. Okay. There, that's easy. That's easy. Now we'll take some white again. And we'll just go... just like this. You can also do this with a fan brush, by the way. A fan brush would be an excellent way to go ahead and get some of this extra color in there. There. Maybe you want to take this down near the front like this. remember that waves are very free. They're so free. So they go just about anywhere. Okay. There, it's about good. That's about good, I think. You don't have to worry too much more about the water on that. Alright. Let me just wipe this off because you never know. We might need it again. Here, I'm going to set it off to the side. Now let me get my big old knife. I got a feeling we're going to need it very shortly. Make sure your knife is cleaned off. Make sure it's clean off. Get those edges. Now, here's what I want to do. Here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add a lot. I'm going to add a lot of vermilion to this red here. Okay. This nice pink that we have up here, I'm just going to add a little bit more of that vermilion. Well, that's getting to be some color, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it sure is. It's getting delicious. Okay, I think we got enough right there. Okay, so let's go ahead, pull off a little bit, and down. Ooh, we'll start right about here. Yeah, we'll go over this way. Okay. And we'll go down. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. And as that comes toward us, we want to make this just a little bigger. Just a little bigger. Okay. Look at that. That's cool. You know what I think I want to do? I think I want to wipe off that knife. I want to wipe it off very quickly here. Okay? And I'm going to take some of that dark color, and I'm just going to go right in here. Try to create some steps. Some steps maybe that are leading down into that pool. That little reflection pool. Okay? Okay. We'll just use the colors that we already got created over here. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. Yeah, it's not looking too bad. Yeah, it's not looking too bad. Here. Let's go ahead over here and just add a little bit of something. There. Just adding a little bit of an edge to these little things over here. So it looks like we got ourselves a little bit of a water line. A little bit of a water line. Gotta love how there's that nice edge there. So people can take a seat. Take a seat and just people watch. See what all the people are doing. Maybe they got protesters there who have a bone to pick with the government. And, I think we all got a little bit of a bone to pick. So maybe we want to go down to Washington and give them a piece of our mind and all that. Or maybe we just want to see what all's going on. Maybe there's some fun little things going. I don't know. Here's what I want to do. I want to take my little brush. And I'm going to take my red color. dry that off, of course. And now I want to take that red color, I think. I'm just going to get a little bit of it. I'm going to get a little bit of it. I'm going to go right about, probably in here. Actually, let's go ahead and get some of this lighter color. And maybe we got some spaces in here where we can throw some stuff. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe we got one more right over here. Right there. Okay. Just touch up a couple of things. Let's go down in here and just pick out a couple of spots like that. Maybe over in here too. There. Okay, okay. Now, since we're going to be people watching a little bit, let's go ahead and take the liner brush. I think what I want to do is just roll this liner brush. I'm going to roll it through that dark paint. We want it to get real soupy though. Otherwise it's not going to go on real easy, okay? So get it real soupy. Then after you got it soupy enough, we'll go in here and pick out a couple of people kind of just walking along. And the key to drawing little people like this is just to make them look like carrots and then put a little dot where their head should be. It's really all you got to do. You don't have to overthink it now. These people are so far away. They're so far away that you're not really going to see any of them, hardly. They're going to be right there, maybe. There's going to be some over here. And don't make them all the same, you know. Go ahead and put a few at various distances and all that. One of the keys to drawing people is to keep it simple. Especially if you got a certain flesh tone that you like. So go ahead and just make them all the same color. And that'll make things go easy for you. But if you want to create a whole bunch of people who are different colors, then go ahead and spend the time doing that. Now here is our nice little coup de grace, I should say. We got this fella right here, and we're going to give him a head. We're going to draw him in with this dark color here, okay? Maybe it's the fall. What do you think? Do you think it's the fall around here? I don't know. This guy's kind of just hanging out here. We got one little thing out here. Maybe there's like a duck over here in the water. Yeah, maybe he's over there watching a duck. You think? Yeah, it might be. Who knows? Who knows? Now what I want to do is I want to go into this light color that I got here. We're not going to see much of him. We're not going to see very much at all. Here's what we are going to see. We're going to see a little bit of highlight here. Okay. Maybe we'll just go over here and give them a little bit of highlight on this. Okay. I'm just giving them a little bit of highlight on their heads. Maybe their neck too. Okay. If you really feel like it, we could go and take some yellow along with a little bit of the red. Okay. Add a lot of white. And we got ourselves a handy little flesh color right here. You can do that. Maybe you could add it to all the little people over here. Give them that little flesh color on their heads. All these people out here, people watching and all that. There. Okay. Here. Let's rinse off the brush. Get a little bit more of that dark color because we got a few more people over here we want to get in. And we'll just hammer them in. Throw them in right there. Then we got a whole group of people maybe right here. Okay. Yeah, that's about all there is to that. All kinds of people kind of just standing around, walking around the Washington Memorial. Okay. Or the reflection pool, I should say. Okay. Let's rinse this off a little better. Got a lot of dark color on there. And this is a very fragile brush. Fragile brush. We don't want to abuse it too much. It's very delicate. Very delicate. So be careful with it. Okay. Give these people some highlight on their heads, maybe over in here. There. Remember, they're so tiny, we can barely see them. And we'll just go into our violet color right here and give them a little something. That's mighty cool. Here. There it goes. There it goes. And we've got ourselves a nice little painting here. Let's check for anything else we might want to do. I don't know. Maybe I'll take some green here and kind of just go down and create a few more suggestions of separation between the trees and the ground. We'll do the same thing over here. Don't forget to make that sound or else it might not work. That sound is like a magic little pass for you to go ahead and be as funny and weird as you want. Okay. There it goes. There it goes. Here's what I'll do. I'll take just a little bit of the yellow. Okay. A little bit of the yellow. I'll go in here. There. Just add a little something up in these parts, just to sparkle it a little bit. Sparkle it. Okay. And a little bit more sparkle over here. There. I think that's about good. We don't have to fiddle around with that anymore. Any more than that, we're just fooling around. We're just fooling around now. Okay, well, let's go ahead and run our brush through this vermilion right now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a nice little spot where I think my signature isn't going to stick out too much. And then I'll put my initials right here. Yes. Okay. That's all we need. And with that, we have a finished painting. My friend, I really want to thank you for joining me today, and I hope you had a lot of fun with this one. This is a real simple painting. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with it. It's good for practice. So go ahead and give it a try. I think you'll be able to pull this one off. And with that, I think it's about time for me to leave you, unfortunately. But as always, with love from me to you, I will see you soon. And until then, bye-bye.